Hello everybody. So this video is about Bitcoin's 100 buy, 100 weeks. Saylor will have bought Bitcoin for 100 weeks. So that is a major milestone, and of course Saylor dubbing this the Bitcoin century. Saylor being pretty bullish last week, if you ask me, tweeting things like if it's not going to zero, it's going to a million. He was on Fox News, he was on all sorts of other outlets, Fox Business. Saylor is on fire, actually. Saylor is on fire, and that's his 100th buy. So special buy tomorrow, yes, because of the count, right? Now, unfortunately, we didn't have much luck with stretch last week. We didn't break back 100 on stretch. We were trading always, a few dimes away from that 100 threshold. So therefore, for the week of tomorrow, right, I expect him to announce perhaps something symbolic, something like 21 bitcoins or 100 bitcoin or 210 bitcoin. But I don't expect an enormous buy. I expect a symbolic buy. Why is that? Because if you look, MSTR greatly outperformed Bitcoin last week. We were up 3% while Bitcoin was essentially flat, right? I mean, only up 0.6% Bitcoin. MSTR was up 3%. So I expect if he ATM'd anything, it's next to nothing. So I expect next week to have a symbolic buy, probably something like 21 or 210 or something like that. Symbolic, that's what I expect. Now, speaking of Stretch, now, of course, Stretch.live, I highly like the website. This is my source. I'm giving you my source here. You can see, so not only last week was not a good week because we had Monday market closed, because for some reason, the market loves to close all the time on Mondays. These holidays make very little sense to me. The markets should be open on a holiday. I don't understand why the markets need to be closed on a holiday. But anyways, the point is the markets were closed, so no opportunity, of course, for Stretch to earn a yield, right? To create a BTC yield for us to be issued. No opportunity for Stretch to be issued. And the same was true for all of the other days. We had a stressful week with a lot of data coming out, the CPI, the GDP numbers on Friday, but especially we had the quote-unquote end of tariffs, and then over the weekend, Trump putting back a 10% tariff, which he then raised to a 15% tariff. So we had a lot of macro volatility, which didn't help Stretch get back to 100. Hopefully for next week. Next week we have a big earnings week. We have Wednesday evening NVIDIA. That might be the corner for the market to turn back positive is NVIDIA. And if you look at Bitcoin is actually doing a little better. I'll take the CMC Fear and Greed Index at 14. I'll take it. We're down at a 5, 10 days ago. So that's slightly positive. Bitcoin, of course, is in that period of a stablecoin status. We are behaving like a stablecoin right now for Bitcoin. We're stuck between 60 and 70 or 65 and 70, and it's been like that for a while. I don't make any directional bets or anything like that. To me, Bitcoin is a long-term hold. Strategy is a long-term hold. It's a 2030 and beyond thing. But I do think with March coming up, we have two positive catalysts. So one of them is specifically for risk assets is Kevin Warsh. I think Kevin Warsh, of course, the nominated Fed chair that should set up in May, start in May. I think that should be getting priced into the market. A more dovish Fed chair should start getting priced in. The market tends to look, a quarter out. I mean, sometimes just days out, but the market should start internalizing that, especially as we move beyond the March no rate cut decision, most likely. And then another thing specifically for crypto. I don't know if you saw that news, but that's a big deal. So we are used to what I'm going to call Sunday shenanigans, right? We're used to Bitcoin dumping on Sundays, and that's because of something called the CME gap, and that's because, of course, the CME has been 24/5. It's been shut down on the weekends for the longest time. Well, that is changing in May as well. You see, starting May 29, we won't have the CME gap either. We'll have 24/7 trading, which means that the Sunday shenanigans are going to stop come of May. So we have pretty bullish things to look forward to for Bitcoin in May, which is Kevin Warsh, the dove, at the head of the Fed, and he is a dove. I know the media tries to be negative, and the media says things like, "Oh, he had old comments from the 2008, 2009, where he was hawkish. He had comments about reducing the balance sheet back in the day. He said things about reducing the balance sheet." I don't believe that at all. If he was chosen by Trump, Trump is going to choose someone who drops the rate and just listens. And that's really what I think he chose here. So that's point number one. But the media makes you think he's a hawk for some reason. Not for some reason, because they want the clicks. That's why. Anyways, but the CME gap is actually a very bullish news for Bitcoin too, because we may see way less manipulation, at least on Sundays coming up. And then if you add the crypto act that's coming up, the crypto regulation in Congress that's coming up, that could be a big deal as well for crypto. So I'm slightly positive, and also we've been down for like 4 months, almost 5 months, right? So can we be down 5 months, maybe 6 months in a row? Historically that hasn't been the case. No. Anyways, historically we shouldn't be this low on Bitcoin if you follow historics. But anyways, that's just the way it is. So this was not investment advice. This is not financial advice. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.